Now, we push stop because of the air. Yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit, create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Lie, die, 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 yai, die, 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 die. Lie, die, 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 yai, die, die, yai, die, 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 die. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, or almost Shabbat Shalom.
Yes, Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us, as Cantor Lisa called it, our maiden voyage here on our Taste of Shabbat, our new experiment that we're trying to bring you the hits of Shabbat in 15 minutes. We'll see what we can do here. But the goal of this is to give you a little taste, candle blessing, a couple of songs that are part of the Friday night liturgy, and 2 moments of teachings that are related to one to the Torah portion and one having to do with something happening in the world this week. So with that, I turn it over to you, Cantor.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to get our little time for Shabbat started with our candle blessing. So if you want to light with me, feel free. We'll see if they stay lit. And we're going to bring in that beautiful light of Shabbat together in our virtual community. We take our arms 3 times as we bring in that light. 1, 2, 3. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. And to continue our little mini Shabbat celebration, we're going to welcome in those Shabbat angels, all of those people who are joining in our online community and welcoming them to our Shabbat gathering. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Bimelech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Bimelech, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Tomorrow night we're going to be celebrating, actually it's not a celebration, we're going to be commemorating Tisha B'Av, the one other 24-hour fast day in our holiday cycle besides Yom Kippur. And it commemorates the destruction of the temples in Jerusalem, but I've been thinking this week about the most important temple that exists, which is our planet itself. This week, even if you saw the headlines today, those terrible rainstorms in Germany and Belgium that have left hundreds dead and over 1,000 still missing, whole towns just basically destroyed. In California, the wildfire that is now at I don't remember the name of it, Sugar Fire in Plumas National Forest, now the first of the season to go over 100,000 acres burned, something that has now become a norm. The idea that in Oregon, there are now these specific clouds, you can go on the LA Times tonight and see an article about this, specific storm clouds that are created that go up to 6 miles in the sky as a result of the wildfires that are happening down below. We've gotten to the point where humanity is on a crash course with nature, according to our former governor, Jerry Brown. And there was a leaked Pentagon report to suggest that with climate change, there is an increased chance of terrorism, of war, of challenges across our world as a result of all the things that are happening to our planet. Tisha B'Av is this day where we are going to commemorate the destruction of the temple, but at the same time, we need to be well aware of the fact that climate change is real, and it is here. We have felt the effects here in California and all over the West Coast in the last couple of weeks. When we commemorate this day, it is a day to really think about destruction, and we have to go beyond just the destruction that we as the Jewish people have experienced. How can we make sure that we do our part and that we work with others to try and abate the challenges that we are facing and will continue to face in the years to come that have to do with this climate change? So on a day tomorrow night, we'll commemorate Tisha B'Av together. Feel free to join Cantor and I starting at 7:30. But in addition, it's a time to reflect on the ways in which we have to turn the ship that exists of destruction that is happening in other ways around the world. And what can we do as a Jewish people? What can we do to make sure that we make a change?
And this Shabbat is a very special one. For those of you who saw my Shabbat message, the Shabbat is called Shabbat Chazon, Shabbat of Vision, and that's the Shabbat that comes before Tisha B'Av. And the reason it's so special is because we're told that on this Shabbat that we each have an opportunity to envision that more perfect world, to envision a world in which we've dealt with all of our climate change issues and our social justice issues, and that we can all be at peace with one another. So while we take a moment in just a few seconds to say the watchword of our people, the Shema, I invite you to close your eyes and just take a moment and see that vision for yourself. What does that world look like? How is it that we're going to turn around what we have right now? So we'll take a moment and close our eyes, see that vision as we say the words of the Shema together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
This week we begin the final book of the Torah, the book of Deuteronomy. There is no more forward momentum in the journey for the Jewish people from Egypt to the Promised Land. We have reached the edge of the land, and the whole book of Deuteronomy is Moses' speeches to the Jewish people, preparing them for entering into that land. But what the book starts with is a retelling and a recalling of some of the stories that came before, some of the things that the Jewish people experienced and endured on their journey towards the Promised Land. And I think there's an important lesson that we're supposed to take from that. We as a Jewish people spend a lot of time and energy recalling the past. Memory is such a key piece of what it means to be Jewish. And we do that not just to sit in the past, but in order for us to prepare ourselves for the future. So what happens in the Torah, starting this weekend, we'll find throughout the book of Deuteronomy, is Moses is an attempt to remind us of where we came from in order to prepare us for the opportunities that lay ahead. We are coming out of this pandemic. We still are dealing, of course, with the Delta variant, and it's not gone. But this is the time where we have the opportunity to recall what we just went through, to hold on to those lessons and to prepare ourselves that down the road in the future, what are we going to remember from this experience? The joys and the pains. Yes, all the loss that has occurred over the last year and a half, but also those moments where we've had a little bit more time with our family, the ways in which we've maybe been able to adapt our work-life balance. How can we hold on to those messages and those lessons so that we can teach the next generation, just as Moses is doing, trying to prepare the next generation of Jews to enter their promised land? With that, we always take a moment on our Friday night services to just take a moment of silent reflection. You can think about this week. You can prepare yourself for a day off, a day of Shabbat, whatever you may want to do at this time.
We're going to end our silent moment with a prayer for peace, the words of Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Since this is an experiment, Cantor, Lisa, and I would love your thoughts, your feedback. We did this in 14 minutes and 15 seconds at this point. So give us any feedback. We hope this gives you at least a taste of Shabbat to prepare you as you enter into, hopefully, will be a day of rest and peace. So wishing you all the
Shabbat
best.
shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.